Assalamu alaikum. Israeli soldiers have confessed to the Haaretz newspaper that their commanders ordered them to shoot starving Palestinians as they approach the US-Zionist death traps, which they call so-called aid centers. One soldier said, and I quote, "Palestinian aid seekers were treated like a hostile force. No crowd control measures, no tear gas, just live fire with everything imaginable. Heavy machine guns, grenade launchers, mortars, and the likes." And the human cost? Over 600 starving Palestinians killed waiting for aid and increasing by the hour. Over 4,000 injured, many maimed for life. Save the Children said it plainly. Today, Palestinians in Gaza face an impossible choice: starve or risk being shot while trying desperately to reach food to feed their families. Doctors Without Borders described it as slaughter masquerading as human aid. And the so-called aid? Oxycodone pills, powerful drugs prescribed for cancer patients, were discovered hidden in flour bags, highly addictive, life-threatening, causing breathing failure, hallucinations, and even death. A Shifa hospital, the dialysis ward, has now shut down. 350 kidney failure patients await their imminent deaths. Children are dying. Babies starve for lack of formula milk. NGOs are screaming for the world to wake up. But despite all these genocidal horrors, the West has focused itself on exactly what? Bob Vylan and Glastonbury. The Western colonial establishment is sick beyond remedy. An active partner in Zionist genocide, it chooses to remain deaf, dumb and blind to the ethnic cleansing and genocide of innocent Palestinians. British media, Zionist politicians busy themselves with Glastonbury and what kneecap or Bob Vylan said, twisting words, distorting statements and smearing tactics. Even so, numerous commentators have noted, and I quote them directly, calling for the death of an army accused by major human rights groups of carrying out a genocide is not anti-Semitic. The chant, and I quote, "Death to the IDF," end of quote, is not anti-Semitic. Therefore, reserve your outrage for Zionist genocide in Gaza if you even care to notice. But on the actual massacres, on nearly 2 years of slaughter of innocent Palestinians, these sickening colonial politicians and media have no words. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Zionist Israeli chants echo across occupied Palestine. Zionist commanders order shoot starving Palestinians, deaf to Arabs, may their villages burn. Open genocidal racism from soldiers, politicians, settlers, broadcast on Zionist TV, plastered in Zionist newspapers, screamed at Zionist flag marches. But the West simply looks away. And what did Bob Vylan say? He called for an end to the most violent force on the world stage today. No other military brazenly and routinely carries out such extreme atrocities against men, women and children and boasts about them openly. But yet again, this is the West's reality. It is their colonial past, their imperial present and their fascist future. It is embedded in the ideological DNA. You can't cure it. You can't reform it. And appealing to it is nothing but a waste of time. Brothers, sisters and friends, with the West's sickening perverse logic hell-bent on shifting the focus and crying their anti-Semite wolf yet again, the onus falls on us, on me and you, to carry the baton for Palestine. For Gaza, because Gaza doesn't need your tears. It needs your action, your courage, your voice. Today it is paramount for Muslims and non-Muslims alike to work tirelessly for number one, expose and correct the corrupt narrative that tries to twist the genocide of Palestinians into a story about anti-Semitism. Number two, refute their diversions. Bring the world's eyes back to the truth. Zionist forces are perpetrating genocide, ethnic cleansing and starvation of an entire people. 3. our duty remains to be the voice of the Palestinians and to amplify their cries, as heart-wrenching as it is. And finally, beyond words, to call for the liberation of Palestine. We will not stop. Not until all of Palestine is free. Not until the apartheid, racist, Zionist regime is no more. Not until the land of Al-Aqsa breathes justice once again. Free, free Palestine. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.